toxic metal syndrome, how to reverse bone loss, and the latest scientific research on vitamins and minerals. We'll have fascinating guests, and we'll take lots of your calls, too. So join us 7 days a week from 2 to 3 p.m. for Health Connection Radio right here on WNN.
Are you training for a marathon or something?
I heard if you lose lots of weight, you can prevent diabetes.
Get real. You don't have to knock yourself out to prevent diabetes. Take small steps.
Talk to your healthcare provider. Losing a small amount of weight by being active 30 minutes, 5 days a week, and eating healthier can prevent diabetes. For more information, call 1-800-438-5383 and ask for Get Real, a message from the Department of Health and Human Services National Diabetes Education Program.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Welcome to our show. You're listening to Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections, a place to learn about and celebrate creative arts therapy. Each week we'll explore new ways that music, art, and dance can reach, connect with, and help individuals of all stages of health and wellness. Hi, I'm Bree, a board-certified music therapist and the managing partner for the Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute. Tune in as I interview professionals from healthcare and educational backgrounds on the impact of the creative arts. If you prefer to watch our live video stream, simply visit www.pbmti.com. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. You're listening to and watching Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. I'm your host, Bree Gordon, board-certified music therapist and the managing partner for the Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute here locally in Southeast Florida. If you are joining us for the first time, we're so glad you're here. Hopefully you will enjoy this next hour as we take a break from the holiday hustle and bustle, which I guess I can only speak for myself. I'm sure there's a few listeners or viewers going through it right now, is in full effect. And just learn about some amazing things that are going on in our community, throughout the country, abroad, some creative solutions to everyday healthcare, wellness, educational concerns that we're coping with, either personally or for those that we love, for those that we're caring for. And today is obviously no exception. In fact, we've got a familiar voice, if you are a common listener to this station, that you'll hear again. Rabbi Jenny's pulling double duty today. She just wrapped up her show that airs every week from 5 to 6 on this channel on 95.3 FM and 1470 AM. And she's coming back, had to get a little water drink right now, a little break, but gonna come back. And honestly, we've passed each other for the past 14 months every week and have never really sat down to have a conversation. So I'm really, really excited to take the chance to talk to her today, learn about the things that she's doing in our community, the amazing impact that she's having, and how she's reaching people through her own show. And if you haven't caught her show before, I hope that you will do that in the future. Again, that's every Wednesday, just before this program, 5 to 6 p.m. And she's going to talk about all the different ways that you can check in with that and keep in touch with her and the cool things that she's up to in our community. I wanted to touch on, other than getting the chance to get to know Rabbi Jenny a little bit, I wanted to touch on a subject today, and I asked for her to weigh in, knowing her expertise on this idea of coping with the holidays. So with my background being in hospice care, we did a lot of events around this idea of coping with the holidays. Obviously, many that were grief or loss centered, as this can be a really challenging time for any individuals who are coping with loss of any kind, whether it's recent, it's complicated, it's from years past. The holidays are certainly a trigger this time of year. Maybe you have certain traditions that you shared with a loved one, with a friend, with a family member that are now different because of their loss. And so maybe this is a message that you personally are looking to receive today, or you're thinking of a friend or a family member who might be going through this at this time. It's just to give us pause, and think of ways that we can support ourselves and care and love ourselves, or maybe show a little extra TLC to someone in our circles, in our network, that might be coping with this, or trying to cope with the holidays. knowing that they're going through a loss of some sort. And certainly a loss doesn't always have to be, or grieving doesn't always have to be a physical death of someone. I mean, any kind of change, any kind of change, losing a job this time of year is a loss. Moving and losing your social network is a loss. Going through a divorce is a loss. There's certainly a lot of things that people are coping with every day that can just feel that much more difficult as we go through this holiday season. And everybody is supposed to have a big smile on their face and to carry on as they do every year. And sometimes it's not that simple. Coping with the holidays really is broader than that, though, I think. I mean, obviously, loss and grieving is something that affects many of us at some point in our lives. But just coping with the stress of it all, this is a really stressful time of year. There's financial stressors. There's whether that's, for traveling expenses or buying gifts or preparing meals. There's time stressors. We feel like we need to be a million places at once as a musician, and I'm sure some of you listening or viewing this tonight can understand that from an artist, a performer, a musician standpoint. This is our busiest time of year. This is our Super Bowl. This and Holy Week for those of us who have worked in churches, which I know many vocalists do. It's a tough time of year. We kind of pop around from service to service, offering our voices, and that's what sometimes the holiday becomes about. There are stressors if you have tried to make a nutritional commitment to yourself or an exercise commitment to yourself. Schedules are thrown off. There's a lot of cookies and donuts and pizza parties and all this happening. So there's a lot of things going on, and maybe you're coping with a couple of these things at once. And so, I just want to share that you're not alone. We're all dealing with this on some level. And I think that if we're more honest about it, and many of us have probably struggled through this time, that we care to admit. So you're not alone. Look to your friends or your family for support at this time. One of the things that I can certainly say that helps me is, and I'm not that I always do it, but, just taking time for yourself, whether that's, listening to music to relax, creating music for yourself, not for performance, not for anyone else, just for yourself, reading a book, taking a bath, if it's something that's within your comfort and part of your health and wellness plan, maybe even just simple as enjoying a bowl of ice cream or a glass of wine and watching, TV. I mean, it's kind of that unproductive time that we can allow ourselves. We spend so much time being productive and being seemingly in 3 places at once, trying to meet all these needs. I would imagine, I don't know personally, but I imagine as a parent at this time, making sure you make this holiday perfect for the kids, for others. This is certainly, they don't know the stressors that are going on. They just know they want to wake up, whether it's whatever holiday celebration is, with family and friends around and everybody happy and having a good time. And there's a lot of pressure to deliver that. So be kind to yourself, be gentle to yourself. And I know this is a message that my guest today, Rabbi Jenny, shares a lot. How to love yourself, show kindness to yourself. So I look forward to hearing her advice on the matter later on. As I mentioned, and it should come as no surprise, music is a big part of that for me. I went to a holiday party over the weekend and was kind of being introduced to a new group, and it was a lot of fun, had a great time, but I couldn't help but notice the guitar on the wall. So, during a lull in the party, and didn't really, know everyone super well. And I said, do you mind if I just tune this, And they said, oh, yeah, no problem. Nobody's ever played that guitar, have fun. And it really kind of turned into this really cool sing-along of Christmas songs, and got all the kids together and the adults together. And it was just kind of a cool way for me personally to just settle in this time of year where you're running from one party to the next, to the event to the next, and trying to meet all these needs. So just creating music for the sake of community, for the sake of sharing with one another. So this is my go-to during this season, is to pull out the guitar and just make a little music just for the sake of having fun. So this is one of my favorites, made popular by the Carpenters. Recorded by Rosemary Clooney in 1954. Actually, I'm reading here, so I should probably give credit to that first and foremost. Oh, there's no place like home for the holiday, 'cause no matter how far away you roam, when you pine for the sunshine of a friendly game, for the holidays you can't beat home sweet home. I met a man who lives in Tennessee, and he was headed for Pennsylvania and some homemade pumpkin pie. From Pennsylvania, folks are traveling down to Dixie's sunny shores. From Atlantic to Pacific, gee, the traffic is terrific. Oh, there's no place like home for the holiday, 'cause no matter how far away you roam, if you want to be happy in a million ways, for the holidays you can't beat home sweet home. For the holidays you can't beat home sweet home. We have a fabulous show planned for you today. My guest, Rabbi Jenny, is going to be here sharing about all the awesome stuff she's doing in our community and some helpful tips for how we can cope through this holiday season together. You don't want to miss it. Stick around.
Mom's fall was a wake-up call. We knew she needed help, but we also knew she'd never leave her home.
With jobs and kids, we can't always be there. We weren't sure who to trust to help around the house and make sure she takes her medications.
We did our research and found our answer, Bright Star Care. Their home care teams are led by registered nurses, with help available 24/7.
Thanks to Bright Star Care, Mom can stay where she wants to be, at home.
For a standard of care that raises the bar, call 844 for Bright Star.
The Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute is a professional music therapy practice serving medical, community, and educational settings throughout Southeast Florida. With our experienced team of 11 board-certified music therapists, we use music and research-based therapeutic interventions to help individuals of all ages and abilities reach their goals and increase their quality of life. For more information on our services and programs, please visit our website at pbmti.com. Engage with us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or call us at 561-747-9944. You are listening to Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. If you'd like to join the conversation, the toll-free number is 888-565-1470. Now back to the show. Hello, thank you so much for joining us tonight. You're listening to and watching Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. I'm your host, Bree Gordon, and if you are an avid listener of this channel, this next voice and face will be no stranger to you at all. I'm so pleased to have Rabbi Jenny here with me today. Thank you for being here, Rabbi.
Oh, Bree, thank you for having me. This is so fun. Like, I'm always walking out when you're walking in.
Exactly.
Now I'm here. I get to get the Bree experience. I've been hearing about it from so many people.
Oh.
We've actually shared guests, too.
Yes, we have. Yeah. And, I mean, that's been so fun, too, as people are kind of coming in and out, and even in the moment when they're here, we're like, hey, I like your story.
I know.
Can you come join me next week?
Exactly.
Absolutely. You're on the other side of the table
I'm on the other
today.
side of the table. This is like, I got a whole new view of things. So,
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's awesome, and we've kind of been talking about maybe doing the reciprocal, so you'll have to let me know how this is the interviewee side of it, it's kind of
It's
hard.
fun. I love it. Well, that's how I got into this. I was a
that's
guest
true.
in
Me
the
too,
studio.
actually. What show were you on first?
I was on Hallie Elise's show.
Oh, cool. I was
Yeah.
on Marcia Teal's Figure Solutions.
That was it.
brought us here.
Yeah,
Well, very
yeah.
cool. Again, thank you for taking the time.
Sure.
I know this is a busy time of year, as we were
Yes.
talking about in the beginning, so I really appreciate it. But again, we've just been passing ships for over a year now and haven't really gotten a chance to sit down and share, watch a little bit of each other's shows and know generally what's about, that we have a lot of things in common.
Sure.
A lot of things, just a creative approach to helping others and helping empower others. So I just wondered if you'd just go back to the beginning and share a little bit about yourself and what brought you to where you are today.
Oh God, that's like such a broad question,
It
Bree.
is.
That's a little crazy. I don't even know where to begin. Well, I mean, I was born in Boston. No, just kidding. So basically, I guess my beginning would be half in synagogue and half on stage. Because as a kid, I was in synagogue a lot, and I was always on stage. I was always singing, playing an instrument, dancing, singing, doing something in front of people, and I'm very, very passionate from a young age to use my voice to help others. I never felt too in tune with the entertainment aspect of it, but the idea of helping people. And my life progressed and certain things happened in my life, and I increased my passion for healing and helping others, and went to college, went to law school, became a lawyer.
See, I didn't know any of
lots
this.
and lots of stuff. Then became a rabbi, and actually after I became a rabbi, I became a chaplain, and I became a chaplain in substance abuse treatment. And that was when I really found my passion, which was ignited a little bit earlier, working with antisocials. I ran a felon program for youth felons in Dade County in Miami. It was an amazing program, re-entry program for youth felons who finished their boot camp, their time, and helping them get trained and go to college and get their GEDs. And it was just a really wonderful time, but I found a passion for that particular personality. And I've sort of reignited it again, focusing more on addiction and substance abuse, and have, now I run my own center that I designed. I've written books. There's just a lot.
Very cool.
Yeah.
What topic do you like to write on?
Well, I've written my memoir about substance abuse and trauma, and then Ahavatar, my second book, which is very, it came out a few years ago, but the workshops are 4-day certification workshops, and transforming the way you view your life. Like, most people view their life like a victim and don't even realize that they do it, because we are a victim planet. We victimize our planet and ourselves all the time, and we don't even realize it.
What do you mean by that?
We see ourselves as more powerless than we are, in more moments than we think in our life. We say I can't more than I can a lot. And so shifting the way we look at all of our life experiences and looking for the gifts and the talents and the heroic qualities in each experience, and teaching the mind to do that, that's a passion. And I've built my program on that, and I teach others how to teach others how to do that. So
very cool.
Yeah, and then combine that with a really insane passion for Torah and teaching people about Judaism and spirituality and the love of God. And I guess that kind of makes sense of it all.
That's awesome. Well, I have to say, I was thinking about, our conversation and my drive down here, which is getting exponentially longer and longer as we get more into season. 10 miles has taken me from 10 minutes to an hour over the course of a month. That's been really, it's almost like it's a
joke.
Yeah, it's some kind of a science experiment. I feel like, anyways. So if you're stuck in that, we're glad you're here listening to us.
Yes, absolutely.
Throughout my time in hospice and working with, we've been doing a lot of community programs at Chabad centers and working with kids with exceptional needs in some different synagogues. And every rabbi I've met throughout my 8-year career has been musical.
Yes. I don't know what that is. Well, Judaism is a very musical experience, because we don't use, depending on how religious you are, but I didn't grow up in synagogue with instruments. It was all vocal, and it's all niguns and tunes, and you have the nusach, which is the rhythms, and the niguns, which are the songs, and Torah is chanted to a very specific musical rhythm, and each symbol means a certain musical direction, and it's its own language of music. And so you really just grow up hearing these repetitive, meditative songs your whole life. And it's true. It really is true. And I don't think that you can stand up in front of people at synagogue and not sing, or at least try to, because, that's part of it. But yeah, I don't know why that is.
I love it. And I mean, even if it's not like they have that performance bug necessarily, and this was, moving down to South Florida was my first introduction to Judaism at all, really. And so working in the teams, and I worked in a unit very closely with a rabbi. I mean, I began to understand rabbi meaning teacher in a very, very literal, fast way when it was like, hey, you need to know music from our faith, and I'm going to spend this time teaching you. And I felt so thankful for that, you know, and I got that just not only here are the notes, learn this music, but this is what it means.
Yes.
And like, this is why it's powerful, and this is why it's powerful at end of life, and this is why it's powerful in this setting. And I will just always feel so thankful, you know, for that experience of my musical rabbis in my life.
Oh, that's so great. It's so great. And it's strange. It's like, you know, I think other clergy are looked at, you know, when you do become a rabbi, I teach no matter what I'm doing. So I love that you brought that up. It is. I'm like, I'm eternally a teacher.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's
I can see that passion for sure.
It's definitely something that the title, it is part of the ordination or smicha that you would call it in Judaism, is that you know, we're not closer to God than anyone else. You don't have to go through us to get through God. We're just here to teach. So it's a little bit different than other faiths.
That's cool. So, and I just always remember that, especially being a new professional, feeling so thankful for someone taking the time, you know, to teach that. So, you not only are doing, you know, this work that sounds like, you know, life experience has brought you to this place, and it's kind of the combination of your passions for creativity and for helping others in their recovery journey, but now you get to share about it on your own show as well. So what kind of brought you to wanting to do that?
I've been on stage since I was 5. I've been singing since I could sing. And so I'm in dancing. I mean, that's my earliest memories, is just doing that, just always being in front of people. I'm very shy by nature, could probably sit in a room by myself most of the time, but always comfortable in front of people. And I did a music career, playing singer-songwriter after law school. I started playing guitar and touring the United States, singing and songwriting for a few years. And so always kind of interested. The radio came, I was a guest on Hallie's show, and it was after my father passed away. And I literally came in the studio, and it was like something happened. It was something that happened that has never happened to me before. And I literally have had a calling. So I've actually had God call me. But this was very different. This was like something came through me and was like, okay, this is what you need to be doing. And it was very powerful. And I left and was like, you know, I spoke to our producer, and I spoke to him, and it took like a month and a half to kind of get everything all settled. But it's just been, you know, it's taken off ever since, and it continues to explode.
How long have you been doing it?
So it's gonna be almost 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're really excited. We're really getting it out and going, you know, up the coast. So it's really.
So you got to
exciting.
be getting close to that like 100 show mark, right? Like I feel.
I think so. It was a big deal when we got a year. Yeah, it was a big deal when we got our year show, and I can't believe it's going to be 2 years coming up. It's crazy. Yeah. And I can't believe it's like, you know, it's like 2 years, and God always brings me beautiful guests and new things to talk about and new adventures and
I say that all the time. It's like, you know, when stuff falls through, and it does, right? You know, and you were flexible with me last week when life happens, and then these people come into our lives. I'm like, I don't even know how I got to this person, but not only is it the perfect guest, but it's also a message that like is helpful to me and my work, and it's just it flows.
And to be open to it, and to be, you know, to not worry. Right. You know, I first did the show, like especially the first year, it was very intense, very planned, very, you know, and then when I made a decision to really continue doing it, because, you know, radio, just like everything else in life, it's like, you know, you have to decide why you're doing what you're doing, and it's an interesting thing to do when you have a full-time job and other passions in your life. You have to dedicate yourself. But I really started to look at becoming more skilled at it. You know, like how can I become better at it? How can I get more used to the camera, more used to talking to people, listen more than script things out and plan. Right. Like I used to like obsessively plan every show and every second. Now I barely plan. Yeah. Like I bring in like 3 sentences and go, okay, well let's just see and let the divine speak. Yep. And it's so much better, to be honest, because I really can look at the listeners and look at the camera, because I'm not so concerned with how it all flows out.
I totally agree. Yeah. I'm slowly getting there. I know my mom, I was give her a shout out. Hey mom. It's like, hey mom, that first 15 minutes where you're like staring at your iPad, that's the worst. What can you do about that? I'm like, okay, I can do some music and I can stop reading things. Yeah. Okay. That's how I make that better. And I mean, I worried about it at first. How do I talk for 15 minutes?
Yeah. It goes fast.
And what do I talk? Well, turns out I could probably talk for like 3 hours and be just fine. So, trusting, you know, yourself and, you know, and letting this whole meeting other people and getting inspired by it. That's why we're doing this, right? We need to receive that ourselves sometimes.
Sure.
So you mentioned that it's so important when you're doing radio or any media or any marketing or anything, putting yourself out there. What's your why? You know,
you have to.
Yeah. So what is your why for the show?
I really, really believe everybody is a piece of God. So and I believe it's like proved in the Torah. Like I have all these other things that I say and think, but deep inside me, from the moment I was born, from the moment I looked at that scroll, I just knew that we were a piece of God, and that was the code to tell us how to live our lives. And I can't tell you why I knew that, but I know it, and you really can't change my mind. So it's really the ability to communicate that and give people permission to accept their own amazing divinity, to allow them to create as much as they can. And just it's giving people permission to stand in their power, to understand that whatever you call God, whatever you call it, whether it's science or light or physics or Jesus, Buddha, Allah, Krishna, whatever works for you, and whatever your truth is, I really feel like I have been gifted with a knowing that it's an unshakable thing, and I'm kind of not the person you would think to have that. Because I swear, and I'm rough, and I'm tough, and I kind of go into those dark places. But
Except for here where we can be fine for it.
Yeah. Well, I have almost. I mean, I did it once, and so far we've been good. But I'm looking forward to elevating to a different platform like Showtime or something.
Yeah, there you go.
So where I can be really filthy, the filthy rabbi. Because there's nothing more effective than the F word or the Jesus word from a rabbi. People listen. They listen. So
you've got everyone's attention.
They do. It's
so
silly.
Funny.
It's so silly.
That's so funny. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I just want to, if there's someone new listening tonight or viewing tonight that's intrigued by your show, to get an expectation of what they will hear, week after week. You bring on such awesome people to talk about. And then we're going to return to this coping with the holidays idea and get some tips for self-love, which I know is a special place for you. So stick around. You don't want to miss our next segment. The Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute is a professional music therapy practice serving medical, community, and educational settings throughout Southeast Florida. With our experienced team of 11 board-certified music therapists, we use music and research-based therapeutic interventions to help individuals of all ages and abilities reach their goals and increase their quality of life. For more information on our services and programs, please visit our website at pbmti.com. Engage with us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or call us at 561-747-9944.
Mom's fall was a wake-up call. We knew she needed help, but we also knew she'd never leave her home.
With jobs and kids, we can't always be there. We weren't sure who to trust to help around the house and make sure she takes her medications.
We did our research and found our answer. Bright Star Care. Their home care teams are led by registered nurses, with help available 24/7.
Thanks to Bright Star Care, Mom can stay where she wants to be, at home.
For a standard of care that raises the bar, call 844 for Bright Star.
You are listening to Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. If you'd like to join the conversation, the toll-free number is 888-565-1470. Now back to the show. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. You are listening to and watching Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. I'm your host, Bree Gordon, and I have a familiar face to our station, this room in particular, with us tonight, Rabbi Jenny, on the other side of the table. Thank you again for being here, Rabbi.
It's awesome.
Love learning more about you, your background, what's kind of brought you to the show. I know that passion of yours is giving others the opportunity to tell their story and to share their light, as you were putting it earlier. So if someone has not listened to your show before and is hearing about it for the first time, what could they expect week to week?
Well, I mean, definitely, if you're someone who feels disconnected, if you're someone who sort of like has a sense that there's something bigger that you're supposed to do with your life, that you want to connect with a sense of purpose and get yourself on a spiritual program and spiritual practices, we really bring on people every week who are living spiritual lives and can inspire you, give you tools, leaders from every faith, really just to ignite you. Like, it's just to light you up, motivate you, give you the inspiration and sort of the validation of how worthy and capable you are as a human being, and that you deserve a full life and you deserve to stand in who you are and in your purpose. So it's really, you can pretty much be lit on fire every week. You'll laugh a little bit and learn a little Torah. Because we do a little bit of we do study the scripture portion or the Torah portion that week and sort of tie it in. Like this week's show is on angels, and we had someone on talking about angels, and we did angel readings and the different meanings of those. But it's educational, inspirational, and fun. You will definitely laugh. We do a little rapping and jamming at the end of it too.
Yes, there is definitely a rap at the end.
There's definitely
Stay tuned for the rap.
The Jenny Jam.
Yes, yeah, that's awesome. So, I mean, I'm like all excited about all the things I want to talk about.
He's so adorable. Oh my God, she's like the cutest thing.
I'm glad that my stammering is adorable. I'm really excited that's how that came across.
It looks so on purpose, I swear.
Right.
You're not supposed to tell them, Bree.
Sorry.
Bree is your radio guy.
Got it. I'm back now. Not just a spiritual program, though, right? You kind of have people from all different walks of life, right? What are some of the extremes of guests that you've had on?
I really have been lucky, though. I would say, I don't really have too many people not living some sort of a spiritual life, whether it's, you and I shared a guest. We had Michael. He's a global filmmaker. We just had him on, but he's living kind of a spiritual path, following his purpose. Today we had Angel Reader. I've had clergy on, authors, but they all seem to be trying to follow their passion and follow their heart. I'm trying to think the extremes. Well, today was pretty extreme. We had Lakota Native American elder Kevin Locke call in for Standing Rock. And then we had Angel Reader. And you just kind of never know. We have, filmmakers, artists, musicians, really try to bring on people. So if you have an interest or a passion and want to come on the show, please let me know. But it's really, that the passion is, I think, the igniting or the uniting force in my guess, is that they have some sort of passion that they are actually living. So to give that permission to the viewers and the listeners that you can follow your passion, you can walk through that fire and emerge, unharmed and actually a better person.
That's awesome. I love that. That's been honestly one of my favorite little surprises that's come out of Connections, is this opportunity to, when meeting people, just, being a business owner, I'm going on business meetings all the time, and I'm meeting these, entrepreneurs, and people were just, my guest last week, is a retired police officer. His wife is a OT, I believe, occupational therapist. I have two twin sons, 5, both on the spectrum, and we're just finding that their needs were not being met. The programming, and if they found great therapists, they were all over the county, and one child needed to be here and one here, and they were just fried, and frying their family in the process. And so out of that has been born this sensory gym that they are opening Saturday.
That's so cool.
Yes, the open house is this Saturday, where not only is it a gym for everybody, but it also is going to have PT, OT, speech, music therapy, all these different, and as much as we kind of talked about not loving the term one-stop shop, it kind of is, a place where you can come with your family, with your siblings, and just, it's not, I have to go to therapy, and I have to be alone, and then I've got to wait, and sister has to wait in the room. No, you get to play, and it's something to look forward to. So anyways, that was their show last week, and that's one example of how exciting it's been to learn people's story, and they're just following their dream, and that this media can be a positive platform for sharing that, when there's so many negative things that we receive, turning on the television, turning on the radio, and that we get to be back to back doing that.
Yeah,
that's 2 hours of that. How cool is that? I love that. So my kind of theme today, as I'm traveling next week. Are you traveling as well?
I am not.
You are not?
I am not.
All right.
No, I traveled last week. I went to see my sister in Charlotte.
Okay, very, very nice.
Yeah.
It tends to be a high stress time of year, even if you're not dealing with a major loss or a life change or something, just the nature of this time of year in general can be difficult. And then you throw something like that on top of it, it makes it almost impossible sometimes. So I'm sure in your years of being a chaplain or especially working in recovery, and my goodness, this time of year, parties, all of these triggers, all of these things this was the way things were. How do I set sober traditions? There's so much going on. What are some tips that you share with clients or that you work with or patients that you work with that come to you for advice this time of year?
Well, the number one tip that I give everybody everywhere is that you don't have to do anything you don't want to do as far as the holidays are concerned. If that can be a very strange thing to tell somebody, and it can be very strange because we've all had guilt. We all think that we have to go and we have to do and we have to put a smile on, we have to show up. But, if you're not spiritually fit to go into a situation, I really do not believe that you have to place yourself in that situation. And you also should give yourself permission to leave at any moment, even if it's the most inappropriate moment, that was one of the things that is really life-changing, I think, in every situation of our lives, is that if something's making you really uncomfortable, if it's triggering you, or it's, you could just simply be tired. Like, one of the things that I've noticed this year, Bree, about this time of year is it's dark. I'm tired, and I don't even think that it has anything to do with anything I'm doing more. I think it's simply, I'm a bear. I'm hibernating. It's winter. I want to crawl under the covers, and so really respecting the fact that you're a piece of nature and that this is winter, and being kind and loving to yourself. A lot of self-care, don't let the darkness keep you from taking care of yourself, But those are some of the things. And bring your own car to holiday parties. That's important. Don't ride in a car with people that you think might want to stay long, or maybe they're party animals and you're not. Bring your own car. Simple things like that. And
avoid an argument later.
Yes.
These are if you're at a party, odds are these are people you want around you in your life, and you don't want to have to hold that against. And I love that. Just know your own limits. Listen to your body. Your body will let you know. And your heart will let you know what your limits are, and setting up that for success is like, hey, I'll go on my terms, enjoy this time, and then leave, and it is okay.
Yeah, and take the pressure off. It is just another day, and unless you are, honoring the religious reasons for the day, which are very high. The religious reasons for the Christmas holiday are very high. And if you're honoring that, odds are you're doing it in church or in the quiet of your own home. But the other pressure, we put that on ourselves, I think, that we have to make it something, but it is another day. And the truth is that we should love everyone every day the way we love them on Christmas and Hanukkah and special. We should just, just because it's Tuesday, or Wednesday today, you know. So we got to take that, I just tell people, just take the pressure off. It's just, give yourself a break, and nothing's worth ruining everything because it's a specific holiday, you know. So,
and to add on or pile on all the things that are going on and these pressures that we put on ourselves, we feel that are being put on us. You could probably hear it in my voice. I just have a little sinus infection, but everybody's sick.
Yeah,
the flu is all over the place. Everybody is sick. What are maybe it's your own personal tips or what you share of just how to maybe even be preventative about that? Like just keeping yourself well this time of year.
I take pretty good care of myself. I think I don't think you should compromise on that at all. I think that, you come first. You're the piece of God that you were put here to take care of. And so you should take that piece pretty seriously. So, I do the same thing every day all year round. So I spend a lot of time, silly things like I drink chloroxygen, which is I oxygenate my blood twice a day, which is, something I learned in the mountains. And it, it really gave me back like about 20 years to my life. And I actually take a supplement, and I'm not pushing this company at all, but I take On Guard, which is doTERRA, that's essential oils. And it is, I'm knocking on wood here. I don't even believe in knocking on wood, but I just don't get sick. You know, and even if I feel a cold coming on, I pop an On Guard and it's gone.
Wow.
Yeah, it's absolutely unbelievable. I take it twice a day. It's some sort of super, I think it's vitamin C, but it's also cinnamon and oregano and some things that have been proven to really protect you. But also just that idea of like low stress. You know, low stress. How important is it? You know, like you said, you don't want to fight about it. That's so important. I love that I got on my show with the Angel Reader, the surrender card. I just don't want to fight anymore, Bree. You know, and I think that if you can take that into the holidays, like just how important is it? Would you rather be happy or would you rather be right? And for me, I just rather be happy. You know, I just don't have that fight unless it's fighting for somebody's, you know, therapy or their health or, you know, other than that, you know, it's not that important. You know what I'm saying?
No, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think that, you know, emotions are so high. I think this year especially, right? And a lot of people I know this was a big conversation Thanksgiving time.
Right.
You know, Thanksgiving being right after the election.
Yes.
You know, that's the kickoff almost, Thanksgiving, when people really start to travel for the first time all year.
I can't imagine.
And sit around this table and knowing, I mean, I'm sure it's rare that you sit around this table and everyone feels the same way.
Right.
You know, even if you voted for the same person, you're not going to feel the same way on every
absolutely.
topic. So, you know, I have a really good friend of mine who's a life coach and a therapist and also creative arts therapist. And so we were kind of just talking about, you know, how do you, you know, set that up for success and even just avoid worrying about it in advance of it. And she just had some really cool ideas that I think translate into, you know, the upcoming holidays as well and traveling coming up is, you know, if you know it needs to come up, you know, if you know that it's going to come up, just, hey, for 5 minutes, I'm going to set this on my phone for 5 minutes. Let's chat about this because I know it's a topic that's interesting, and then we're going to move on.
Yeah.
And if that's not receptive, like you said, I'm going to step out because this is all you can control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
it's very polarizing. You know, the election and all of those things it polarized areas of my life that I didn't even think could be. You know, such as work and such as, you know, people were very, you know, Facebook made things I believe in this area way worse because it's actually a personal forum and it made you personally not want to be personal with people, you know, but I think that that's true. And I think that you just the idea that you don't have to chime in. Someone can have an opinion and you don't have to tell them yours.
Yeah, right.
You don't have to get on the Ferris wheel. You don't have to ride the ride. I always say I have an amusement park of my life and I have 2 rides and they're reserved for my mother and my sister and nobody else gets a ride. I'm not buying a ticket on anyone else's ride. I love them enough to get on the ride with them. You know, because they're my girls. They're you know, even my son, he doesn't have a ride. You know, I love him, but I think that if we kind of arrange our life that way and say, you know, my serenity is important, and people want to be right a lot. In this situation, unfortunately, it's so big, you know, and so strangely, even right now, it's still so strange.
It's unprecedented. We don't know how to handle it. This has never happened like this before.
Yeah.
You know,
it's I think it's core shattering and you know, was talking about Standing Rock and talking about the Native American, the shifts that are happening and that people aren't lying down and taking it anymore. I find that even though it's very polarizing, one thing that I'm really loving is it's igniting people that were never like. I've always been like a liberal, fun, I'll tell you how I feel kind of person, but now it's like no joke. Like you are not going to not see me at events, and you are not going to hear me at. You
it's
know
that much more important.
It's just it's sort of like reached inside of people and got them up off the couch.
Yeah,
you know, and who could be mad at that?
Right. I totally agree. We have to go to a quick commercial break. Who knew we were going to get political, talk pop culture today? Absolutely. I love it. There's more where that came from. Stick around. We're going to cut to a quick commercial break.
Mom's fall was a wake-up call. We knew she needed help, but we also knew she'd never leave her home.
With jobs and kids, we can't always be there. We weren't sure who to trust to help around the house and make sure she takes her medications.
We did our research and found our answer. Bright Star Care. Their home care teams are led by registered nurses, with help available 24/7.
Thanks to Bright Star Care, Mom can stay where she wants to be, at home.
For a standard of care that raises the bar, call 844. for Bright Star.
The Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute is a professional music therapy practice serving medical, community, and educational settings throughout Southeast Florida. With our experienced team of 11 board-certified music therapists, we use music and research-based therapeutic interventions to help individuals of all ages and abilities reach their goals and increase their quality of life. For more information on our services and programs, please visit our website at pbmti.com, engage with us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or call us at 561-747-9944. You are listening to Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. If you'd like to join the conversation, the toll-free number is 888-565-1470. Now back to the show. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. You are listening to and watching Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. I'm your host, Bree Gordon, board-certified music therapist with the Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute here locally in Southeast Florida. I am so thrilled to be here tonight with no stranger to our home station here, Rabbi Jenny. Again, thank you for taking the time to be here.
Thanks for having me, Bree. This is fun.
Good. How's it been on the other side?
You're delicious. She's delicious. We love. She gets the Rabbi Jenny. Delicious.
Ooh.
100 on the meter.
Oh, she's so excited. Walking out of here with a little shimmy now.
A little Jewish mother love.
I just love it. How is it on the other side of the table
I
here?
love it. I mean, I love, listening and learning and getting to know people, and it's way more relaxed. It's like, let's, whatever you want to talk about.
You look
let's
so
chat.
cozy.
I'm like,
you got your sweater
I
back
pretend
there.
like it's cold in Florida this time of year because air conditioner keeps it completely freezing.
Yeah.
So,
are you actually from Boston? Was that real?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I am. But not for many, many years. But I was just in Charlotte, and let me tell you, it was like 40 degrees, and then it got really cold. No, thank you.
Yeah, I went to see my mom.
I was like, no, thank you.
I was up in Tennessee for Thanksgiving, and it was 20 degrees and frost when we left. I was like,
yeah, thanks. That was fun.
Yeah.
And the gray sky. I'm like, there's nothing like blue sky once you've lived in it forever. So.
Yep, absolutely. So you've got a lot of cool things going on. The Rabbi Jenny Show, which airs every Wednesday, 5 to 6 on 95.3 FM, 1470 AM. Live video stream is viewed where?
The Rabbi Jenny show page on Facebook, on Periscope, I believe. And we're also running, you can hear the show in Atlanta, I think, still. And look for exciting things up the East Coast coming up for the Rabbi Jenny Show, and look for multiple days to hear the Rabbi Jenny Show coming up soon. So it's really exciting. Yeah.
Cool stuff for 2017.
Yes.
Very cool.
So really exciting. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, the Periscope thing. I haven't been promoting it. Is that a real thing?
It actually is a really big thing. I said it. Twitter is the Twitter. I call everything is dated. But I think it's a big deal, Twitter. I haven't quite tapped into it. I'm trying.
I barely understand Facebook.
I know.
Yeah. I really like Instagram. I could just look at my pictures and smile, and that's the only thing I have to do.
Yeah.
Twitter makes me nervous.
I love LinkedIn. LinkedIn's my favorite. It's my favorite thing. I'm really like a very, very big, dedicated LinkedIn user.
And you're a good email campaign user as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. Anyways, we digress. The Rabbi Jenny Show, you do some charitable work.
Yes, I'd love to promote 2 events if I could.
Yeah.
And they're kind of combined. I actually am executive director of clinical services for Epiphany Resources Treatment Center. We do substance abuse, both men's and women's, from inpatient all the way through to outpatient services, 3 levels of care. Best staff on the planet and best program, I believe, on the planet. So if you have family members suffering from heroin addiction or methamphetamines or cocaine or alcohol, and they've been to many treatments, my treatment center is completely original and the best staff. We do everything from equine therapy, music therapy, to my own designed hero therapy, narrative reframing. Oh my God, they do such amazing things. Qigong, yoga, it's unbelievable. Meditation, sacred fires, it's rocks. So if you really want to shake someone up and open their spirit and fire, light a fire in someone whose fire has disappeared, please give us a call at 1-800. Let me see, I pulled up the 800. I should know it by heart. That's terrible. It's www.etcfl.com, and you can call 1-800-232-0657. Okay, and that's one of my very big passions is to eliminate heroin addiction on the planet. I'm a little grandiose about that. My other passion is a charity called For the Children. For the Children, I'm chairman of the board there. It is an after-school program for preschool age all the way up through high school in Lake Worth, Florida. It is for underprivileged children who cannot afford after-school care and fun programming. It is an amazing program. Most of our children are from Haitian or Central American or Mexican backgrounds. And it is my passion. We are having a toy drive, and actually the toy drive is being sponsored and run by my intensive outpatient second level clients. So they're actually going to be giving all their wrap presents to the kids. So this is going to be happening next Wednesday at the Christmas party. But what I wanted to promote is forthechildrenfirst.org. You can go to that site. You can make a donation on PayPal. Please donate to that program. It is amazing. The after school hours are so important. They're so vital. It's when everything happens. And kids spend a lot of time at home while their parents are working. And to have programs that help them with tutoring, with school, that give them creative outlets, dance, we do sports, we do everything for them, and it's been an amazing part of my life. So forthechildrenfirst.org, and I think those are the two major things, and of course, the Rabbi Jenny Show.
That's awesome. How can people get in touch with you if they are interested in any of the projects you just talked about?
You can, definitely. I'm definitely getting very familiar with the Facebook. Please go to the Facebook and go to the Rabbi Jenny Skylark page or the Rabbi Jenny Show. You can always reach me there. You can also get me at rabbijenny.tv. Go to the info, fill out a sheet, and write me any questions that you want. Also, you can just call me up, 561-346-8207, if you're interested in a wedding, a bar mitzvah. I do interfaith, all faith, of all of those things. I have my wonderful, beautiful Torah from Romania, and anything else. Any kind of guidance or coaching or anything you need.
Give her a call.
That's it.
That's awesome. Well, since we have a couple minutes left, working in a lot of recovery centers, a lot of substance abuse centers throughout Southeast Florida, and there are a lot. There are a lot of options to go with, and we have the honor of getting to provide music therapy in several, which has been an amazing experience. But I like you said, we're unlike anybody else. So why? Why are you unlike everybody else?
Because, I run my substance abuse center like a school. It's an academy for amazing people. Like, I believe heroin addiction especially is a symptomatic of a spiritual malady. I believe that these are amazing creative souls that need guidance into getting in touch with their purpose, and they're basically shooting up dope because they don't know how to do that. So when you come to Epiphany, you put on a karate gi, you get a backpack, and you get a binder, and you go to school, and you immediately start building your self-esteem. You are fully engaged from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. You do everything from martial arts to creative therapy, art therapy, film therapy. You do music therapy. You do narrative therapy, but you are in school, you do homework, you write poetry, you make art, you transform the way you look at life. We also do regular old EMDR, cognitive behavioral therapy, dialectical behavioral therapy. We do it all, but you're fully engaged. And what happens, they call it magical. The clients call it magical. We have a 95% completion rate. My clients do not leave under 30 days. And we also have a less than 1% AMA block. Like, we don't have them running out, which is very different than a lot of centers locally, because they are treated with respect and kindness and love for the value that they have, and they change. And they do. They call it magic, but it isn't. What it is love. It is the most loving staff, and we are no egos, no bones. We're just here to do the work good. We've been in the field a long time, a lot of us, and we've seen a lot of stuff, and this is an epidemic. So right now we're fighting a war, and we're really trying to create amazing men and women and help them get to helping the earth.
Absolutely. I mean, that does make the difference.
Yes.
Yeah.
Purpose is everything. Prayer, people, and purpose. It's everything.
And then to speak to the middle P there, people, this you've shared throughout the charitable work, throughout your actual job work, and through the show, this theme of empowering others. So we can share our advice and help people, or have our guests share their advice, but really, like you just said, it's about helping someone be better so they can go
absolutely
out and be better.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how this works. You know, I think that's so good. It's, you know, go back to speaking, you know, in spirituality, really just, you know, teaching someone to, you know, fish to eat and then to feed others. I mean,
Well, they're you. I mean, you know, the real truth of it all is that you and I are the same thing, Bree. So moving from the I to the we, moving from competition to community and cooperation really is, you know, these kids are they're me. And when they shine, my world gets brighter, you know, and I really believe it. And it's, you know, shifting that in myself has changed everything. You know, we're taught to fight, you know, we're taught to make our way, be unique, be special. You know, no, we're all the same in so many ways, and it's helping people. It makes us better. It's the complete opposite of everything that we've been taught. So,
and how validating for them to hear that that's your perspective.
Yeah.
You know, one more quickly. Oh, my wrap-up music's rolling. One more time with how to view your show and how to maybe get in touch with their center.
okay, so we are going to Rabbi Jenny Show Wednesdays, 5 to 6.
And on Facebook, right?
Yeah, you can watch it on YouTube. Lots of old episodes. Please watch it. You can go on Facebook, the Rabbi Jenny page, and it's 1-800-232. Yes, 0657. Check it out. But it's www.etcfl.com.
Didn't mean to test you with that last one. I am traveling next week, so if I don't get a chance to speak with you all in the next couple weeks, I hope if you are traveling, travel safely. May you find yourself at a table that is loving and accepting and bright and full of joy, and be kind to yourself this holiday season, because the kinder we are to ourselves, the kinder we can be to those around us. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you, Rabbi Jenny, for being here.
Thank you, Bree. This was lovely.
Wonderful.
Happy holidays,
Happy
everyone.
holidays. Thank you for listening to Palm Beach Music Therapy Connections. We hope you enjoyed today's program and discovered new ways to bring music, art, and dance into your home or workplace. Please find a copy of today's show at pbmti.com. If you have any questions for our guest or myself, please email me at Bree, that's BREE, at pbmti.com, or call the Palm Beach Music Therapy Institute at 561-747-9944. Tune back in next week for an all-new live show. See you then.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Talk 1470 is WWNN Pompano Beach and 95.3 FM W237BD Boca Raton, the Health and Wealth Radio Network.
Know your body, gain control of your health, transform your life. If your body could talk, what would it tell you? At DexaFit, we show you how to take control of your health and fitness to live a happier, more fulfilling life. Hormones, metabolic health, and cardio fitness all play a significant role in your energy levels, sleep quality, and overall well-being. With our proven methods of measure, track, and discover, we show you how your body composition, cardio fitness, and metabolic health compare to your optimal level. At DexaFit, our goal is to help you identify and understand the health and fitness of how to transform your body to meet your individual goals, break through your plateaus, and take the guesswork out. Improve your energy levels, sleep, and weight. Give us a call at 561-923-8833. We are conveniently located at 2499 Glades Road in Boca Raton. Schedule an appointment online at DexaFit.com. Give us a call, 561-923-8833, and mention this ad for special pricing.
From simple sprains to highly complex surgeries, the Orthopedic Center of Palm Beach County has been serving the South Florida community for over 65 years with the finest orthopedic and pediatric care. Our physicians are each experts in their field, providing a complete spectrum of musculoskeletal care from prevention and diagnosis to treatment and rehabilitation for every part of the body in both children and adults. Our doctors are able to perform the most advanced treatment options available, including PRP therapy, stem cell, arthroscopic surgery, and microsurgery. At the Orthopedic Center of Palm Beach